Okay. So you're
And I may be able to get that numbers in tomorrow, or I may not.
And knowing that when we have our joint meeting, we can say, listen, instead of doing it this year, we'll put 25,000 in this year, 25 next year, and then do it.
So you're going into the meeting tomorrow with the assumption of, and then we'll discuss it more.
Yeah, I just want to be transparent with that.
When was the last time it was done?
Oh,
2 years.
yes.
6 has to be done. Has to.
Okay, I'm gonna ask
It's
again.
way over.
I'm gonna ask
Way
again.
over.
When was the last time we updated our comprehensive?
2006.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
Okay, and how, and where did those funds come out of?
In 2006?
Yeah, anybody?
Taxes.
They came out of taxes.
I don't know how it was done in 2006, because none of us were here.
So,
And then this big documentation.
back when they were mandated, the state used to pay half of it,
Okay.
and then they stopped doing that.
Okay, is there any, I mean, is there any, you said that somebody helps out with the G whatever?
Yeah, they call here the Valley of Governments that we belong to, but they're not gonna tax, they will come in and do a presentation and tell you what they think it would cost, and they do some of it, the prep work, because we pay for them.
Yep,
But there's nobody gonna take on a project that size without compensation.
All right,
So
all in
can I ask
favor?
one more question?
One more question, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
That's okay.
So you're saying they're gonna come in, they're going to do a presentation and tell us how much they're gonna charge us. If we approve it, are they doing the whole plan? And then
If
we're approving the plan?
You can ask
We
them to
have to
come in and do a
define.
presentation, and then you probably put it out to bid,
Yeah.
and you'll have 4 or
Just gonna
5
say.
companies bid on it.
Okay, but once they bid on it and we choose one?
Yep.
They'll do the whole plan and then it will come in complete and then we'll review it for completeness?
Oh, yeah, they'll be asking for tons of input, they cannot
Okay.
do that without input.
Okay.
That's the biggest part of this, is the input.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Which border committee is supposed to be making sure the comprehensive plan gets done every 10 years?
My suggestion would be that once we decide and vote to move forward with the plan, that we set up a special committee to manage that.
Is there one that is typically supposed to keep up with that, sort of
No.
like the?
Select board is supposed to make sure it happens, administrative.
Okay.
But I think when we have when we set a committee up to manage the comprehensive plan process, that it should be a brand new committee for that
Yeah.
purpose only.
And when you look at the other towns around us,
Usually
we
I'd
can
like-
look at
I'd
that
like-
as well.
yeah, I'd like
They
to have
have-
more information on the other towns. If they're outsourcing this, I
Oh,
think we should.
But
They
the
are.
committee they have in-house, they take like a select board person, they take, you know,
Right.
the,
But I don't think we should ask any one of the committees we have now to tackle it.
no,
I totally agree.
You're getting into statistical analysis and everything else with these things, okay?
Alls I know is I don't wanna be on it.
I'm not,
Make a note of that, Bobby Joe. Okay, Tina had a question.
My question is, why more committees? Our previous town manager says, the more committees, the less functional the government. The select board is the governing board of the town. The thing comes back, it's discussed, the town gets to see it, blah, 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 blah. That falls on your lap. But the more committees, the less functional the town is.
Point well taken.
So are you saying the
personally
select
think it
board
should
should
be-
do it?
I think we should have.
Somebody has to take the responsibility, Phil, it doesn't have to be another board, another committee.
Well, I'll tell you what, you should do some research into what it takes to provide the right services to the people for a comprehensive plan review before you comment on it.
Well, that's, you have accepted
I
the
don't think we should
decision
deny
as
this
a,
already.
as a town select.
I appreciate what you're saying, and I'd love to save you
You have a
money.
responsibility.
And
We got
Tina, if
one
you-
more comment.
Sorry, Tina, I have to disagree with you. I work with GCOG and I know how they work. I think someone from the select board should be on the committee. We have to have a committee. This is data collection at its max. All this is data collection. No
You
one there has
volunteering?
done. Yeah, I'll volunteer.
So Tina, if you
Cool.
look at
If
the
you
other,
remember,
if you look at the other town websites, they have, their comprehensive plans and it shows the type, the individuals that are on them. So it does have a select board person, and it's just interesting how they, yeah.
It
Oh,
is-
no problem,
it is a
everybody's
beast.
gotta understand this is growing into this. It's a hell of a process, I've watched a couple other towns go through some of it, been very impressed, quite frankly, with how they handle it. I hope we can handle it as well.
It's
I'll
also
also
getting
point
the
out-
town involved, the town people have to be
Yeah.
involved, it's
That's
a
right.
whole
Yeah.
animal of
Thing.
things.
And
You have
all of
to
our
have people-
ordinances, John, are based on the comprehensive plan.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So all
And the
this
direction for our
conversation-
planning
That's right.
board, and the
That'd be fun
direction
for
for our
them.
ZBA, and the
Oh,
direction
yeah.
for our review committee, all
A lot to-
Don't worry.
come off that plan.
Did we,
So,
did we vote on that?
not yet. We have
No,
one more
we're still-
comment in
we're
the back, and then we're
still-
gonna vote.
some
Everybody-
comments.
We're in discussion.
So, all I'm looking for is be able to go to the budget committee tomorrow night.
We'll have that for you in a minute.
Oh, it's gonna take,
So-
and be able to tell them this is.
Right.
what
Okay,
we're
you
gonna
wanna
do.
finish? All
We
in
got
favor?
one more
Oh, one more?
comment, and we'll move on.
I read the Bridgeton News, and a lot of different towns are dealing with it. Anders, as you said, is involved in it, and if you go to their website, they have a lot of information on there, amazing amount of information on there, and it shows all the different questions that people will ask, what they prefer, and that sort of thing. Casco just got done with it, and now that their committee is done, which is a whole separate committee and a lot of data collecting, they're now putting in place an implementation committee to make sure that the stuff that's in there is actually dealt with properly. I love how they started theirs, where they had an open house kind of situation over many days where people could come in and see pictures of it. You were like, this look, or do you like that look? And so they're starting to think, you know, for those who are visual, do I want it to look like, you know, Wyndham? Do I want it to look like this or that? So there's a lot of, as you said, data collecting. What do people want to see as your town evolves? It's a huge process. So yeah, this is a whole bunch of stuff.
Thank you. Okay, we'll close the discussion. All in favor? Motion carries. You have it, Mr. Town Manager. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've had a request for a gentleman from the town of Baldwin on the Merch Road, Mr. Dwyer. Is that you, sir? Yes. We have certain roads in town that they're in Baldwin, but Sebago plows them because they need a turnaround. There's roads in Sebago that Baldwin plows because they need a place to turn around. So this gentleman lives on the Merch Road in Baldwin and would like to us to share our transfer station with him and others that perhaps live in neighboring roads. Personally, I've thought about it. We have several places in town that happens. We have a lot of people in the Wards Cove area. We have North Baldwin, Merch Road. We have several. The transfer station, in my opinion, costs us a lot of money to administer, and I'm not sure I'm in favor of adding any non-resident use to it. So,
Biggest concern I have, Barry, is if you make and it's not bad to be a good neighbor, and, there's a piece of me that says, what harm would it do? But once you do it for one, how do we answer to those people just over the line in Standish or Baldwin or Naples? So I think you're heading down a slippery slope to me, but we'll hear what everybody has to say.
would you like to just give us your thoughts?
Well, there's 10 houses involved that are within 1 mile of the gate.
Yep.
And I don't think it would be a big influx of trash or recycling within them 10 houses. And there could be an added yearly fee,
Yep.
just like a contractor, when a contractor comes into the dump, he gets an added fee. And I'm not saying an added fee every time someone from these 10 houses comes in, but an added fee, say yearly. And I don't know what that would be, I don't know what it's worth personally.
Well, the math could be done. That's not even a question. The math could be done. If you have X requirements and you take the amount it costs us and divide it by the population, you get a number. And I get that we could do that, but I think it's a lot to administer. And once we do it for you, if there's 50 down at the beach next door in Standish or in Long Beach, just over the line, maybe 200 houses there. I'm afraid once we rip that scab off, we're gonna bleed to death.
Well, I'm saying within 1 mile of the gate to the station.
I understand, but then we have to say within 1 mile of another board or someplace.
What does Baldwin do now? What do you do now?
We drive over to the tri-town.
Cornish.
You could drive to Cornish?
And all the people in Ward's Cove drive down towards Sebago Lake and then up 35 towards the town office for their transfer station and, the developing Route 11. I think probably in the next few years, Route 11 will be another 8 or 10 or more houses. They're only 1.5 miles away.
Do you pay a fee going to Cornish?
Pardon?
Do you pay a fee?
No.
Richard?
This is an opportunity for revenue stream. So, don't like that idea, huh?
No.
Why not figure out what it costs us, add a premium to that, and sell a different color sticker for people, because they're using our facility anyway. They're getting their buddy next door to pull it. So why not let them ease their conscience and sell them a dump sticker for $300 a year? Different color, because it's from a different town. So if they're coming in with a purple sticker, don't bring a truckload of construction debris. You wanna bring in your personal stuff, then here you go, because they're doing it anyway. So there's a chance for us to pick up some money to offset the cost of running the facility. Maybe it's not a good idea, but it's the first thing that comes to my mind.
I think we need to do a lot more research before we move
I was gonna
forward.
bring something up. So I've done a lot of fees in the town. You made me really think about this, to be honest with you. I know we did, over the summer, we had an intern come in and do a big,
Cool.
yeah, coal. He did a big thing about the transfer station. I wouldn't mind looking into this a little deeper, but I'm not saying that this is gonna fly or not. This is obviously, it has to be approved, but it definitely made me think about, obviously, a revenue source, and looking at the project that we had Cole did, and also some of the things that we're looking at and now for the fees. So I wouldn't mind looking into this a little bit more and trying to get a little bit more, but,
Well, I think.
no guarantees, but it did make me think.
We have to look at the capacity at the transfer
Well, that's what I
station we have
need to
now
know.
and
I
the
need to know
manpower we
before.
have, and can they handle
Yeah.
that much more? Even though we might bring in revenue, would we have to hire another guy?
Right.
Change the tanks over more often and truck more and
No, and
there's a lot.
we have a lot to consider. I
Yeah.
don't wanna say that, but it's an interesting, question to ask, and
But you're talking household for 10
Residential.
households, not like somebody remodeling and bringing a trailer in? Or is that,
No, I'm talking, I have like 4 bags a month,
okay.
yeah,
plus the recycled Tupperware bin.
Yeah.
yeah.
And is that what all 10 houses?
And most of my neighbors are retired, 2 people in the home, or 1 person in the home. The other end of Birch Road has a few families, I'm not gonna lie to you, not gonna sugarcoat it. But I'm saying within 1 mile of that gate, instead of making me drive 19 miles, you know.
I hate to have it.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm using the dump now like somebody had already said, but that's only because I've been at Nason's Beach for 38 years. And you guys put out a tax on the property at one time, just before COVID, I think was the last one we got. But it's supposed to be reinstated, and it's on the property that we have at Nason's Beach. So it's a trailer.
Okay.
So then I've got access to the transfer station.
She's trying to do this legal.
I'm trying to help out
No,
my
I'm
neighbors,
saying, I'm giving you a
and that's why I
compliment.
reached out to Barry and
$300.
So all I was looking for tonight, so I didn't do a lot of research on this, in case the board's gonna say, while you're looking at this, is to look in to see if the town wants to direct the town manager to collect more information and report back to the board at the next regularly scheduled select board meeting. as I misspelled the word select board.
I'd like to let you do that.
I'd like to make that a motion
Get
that
my
we,
vote to do that.
we send this back to the town manager to do more research and report back.
Which is good.
So, let's say that we go for a purple sticker for $300, and this guy gets it,
Yeah.
but his neighbor doesn't get it, and he finds out that he's paying $300 and this guy's not, you gotta turn him in. It will be a self-policing action.
Could be.
Either that or he'll give him $50 to take his stuff.
We count
Oh,
on
they
that.
do that now. They do it now.
Boy, aren't you glad the owl's not working today?
My bag's turning into 6.
We have a motion, we have a motion, we have
Michael,
a
I-
second?
I'll second.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll come in and talk
Let's
with you
look
on
at
this,
this.
just,
all in favor?
yeah.
Motion carries. Thank you. Town manager report?
No, we get, we have, the Long Beach Community Association requesting that Sebago Select Board provide a
Oh,
letter
I'm
of
sorry, I
approval
skipped
for
over.
bingo games in Sebago. The purpose of the letter is to make it so they can be valid for 5 years, to allow the LBCA to apply for a bingo license each year without having to seek yearly town approval for each application. So they have the bingo games, usually Community Hall, 75 West Avenue. This is typical, I've done that for other towns, for the Veterans Associations, stuff like that. So we're looking to vote to authorize the town manager to provide the Long Beach Community Association a letter of approval to hold bingo games in Sebago that would be valid for 5 years. And I didn't give you a sample letter, but they're just pretty much.
Did you say you do it every year?
They wouldn't have to come back till 5 years.
Okay, but currently it's done every
Yeah.
year, okay.
Oh,
So I'll make a motion, put it on the table for discussion, that we authorize the authority for this group to have the game. You provide the right names and spellings.
so you're approving,
The motion is to approve.
to approve it, okay.
I second that. But I
Any
have a
other
question.
discussion from the board?
I have a question. Is it only done during Sebago days, or do you guys play bingo all the time?
They actually,
We're trying to revive it.
You're trying to revive it, okay?
they used to have it every
We used to
Saturday.
have it
Community
every
activity.
Saturday all summer, but it died out probably 10 years ago or so. In the last few years, we've been trying to bring it back.
Okay,
But it just makes it easier on me and on you, because
understood, yeah.
the application has to be signed by the select board if we don't have this letter.
So gambling license, does it mean there must be money involved? Should I
So
come
Bruce
now?
is gonna call us. We're gonna go to bingo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of forms in that, there's actually a lot to it.
Yeah.
And if the game gets too bad a reputation, we may have to revisit this.
Okay, no, thank you.
So the way I hear Phil's motion is to authorize the town manager to provide the Long Beach Community Association a letter of approval to hold bingo games in Sebago that is valid for 5 years. Is that your motion?
That's it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Susan seconded it?
I did.
All in favor?
Thank you. Again, you're trying to do something legally above board. Thank you very much.
Okay, town manager report?
We get the session on the push for April 1st. We have your information.
What's that?
The executive session on the push for that week.
Okay.
So I attached the July to February revenue expense summaries. We're right in alignment with most things in there. If you do get a chance, if you're looking at the revenue report, when it sent at the beginning of the year, the Betty, which is the reimbursement, the state is gonna show that we've only collected 50% so far of our revenue. That's because that was entered as $924,000, which should be $9,040. So our collection rates are actually very decent, and as you can see, the excise taxes looking good, agent fees are up, planning board and plumbing permits are up, and what you're gonna see obviously is the state revenue is a different number that was put into the commitment, probably 74% of that, but some of these just fall right in line with the time of year it is in our expenditure place. The budget committee will have their second meeting tomorrow night, and we're still working on the 24 audits and transfers, so the reports that you get at some point in time are going to have some different numbers in there because of the transfers that need to be made, we talked with the auditor. The animal control officer, leave it in there, but his reports are quarterly. As you know, we contract that out, he does a great job, he comes around, if you need to call him, he answers the phone. Public Works, they're getting caught up on the maintenance and repairs of the trucks. We're getting ready to start to do the annual services in the fire trucks. And they've been doing some tree trimming on Hancock Pond, as well as lots of potholes this year. So the clerk's office, as you know, our clerk, some certain things I can and can't say, but obviously people know that she's out, has some health issues. She's doing well. We expect her back in the next couple of weeks, I would guess. But she wanted to know that papers are available for the select board, 2 openings, budget committee, 2 openings, school committee, 1 opening, Potter Fitch, 2 openings, and cemetery committee, 1 opening. And as a reminder, your boat or ATV, if you're coming to register it, please bring your sticker number before they do the registration. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Makes life easier for you?
absolutely.
So there's a planning board that's up as well. How come the planning board is never noted?
I'm
There's a
sorry,
person on the planning board that their term is up?
Did I say planning board?
No,
No,
it's not on there.
has never been mentioned.
No, I don't have planning board on here.
Well, you need to look at the planning board then, because there's one that's up.
Well, yeah, but they're appointed by you.
Oh, okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you.
It's getting late, I'm
You're
getting
getting mixed
this.
up. I'm like, wait a minute.
Anything else?
I didn't see it either.
I've seen that
Well,
too,
just
so-
quickly, the code enforcement has seen a rapid increase in building permits in the last week as during summer construction, and new permit submissions for single-family homes have been rising up in the inquiries. And recreation, the past month, Spago Rec was a busy one. They wrapped up the ski and ride club and the 2025 basketball season. New key padlocks at the town hall, and pickleball is growing extremely fast. They had 42 local 2nd to 5th graders going up to the ski and snowboard for 5 Wednesdays, and a lot of good feedback, I guess, coming from especially pre-K. Obviously, the pickleball does great because I have cameras in my office that picks up that field, and that court is more and more used every day, so I'm setting off my sensors, I can only see it down there. So that's what I have.
All right. Comments from the board? Susan, anything else you want to add?
No.
Thank you. Carol?
No.
No?
Just one. Our brand new rec director has put 2 children's basketball teams in Sebago got first place twice.
All right. You're done. I have nothing else to add this evening. Comments from the public? Anybody got anything left you want to talk about? Tina?
Transfer station looks great, putting the new pin-up. And I heard,
That's what I think.
right from one of the attendants, that we're gonna have the Dunkin' Donuts off to the side. So,
Good.
Not sure you wanna drink that coffee.
Anybody else got anything constructive?
Let's get the mobile bar to the side.
Did I get a comment over here?
I
Marcia?
have a comment. I would like to take a couple minutes to talk about the ordinance committee. I know it's late. I know you're talking about writing some structure for the committee. I would like to suggest maybe you could have a representative from the ordinance committee, provide some input with your concerns. I would have liked to have thought that maybe working collaboratively, that maybe, the concerns that you had with the structure and the functioning of the committee, you would have, provided that feedback in detail, to the committee, and maybe even have a workshop with the committee and say, look, you know, I'm confused, I find the workings of this committee not organized, and maybe we could have worked it out.
I think we can.
As far as
I think
annual
we can work it
reports,
out.
there have been annual reports written every year on the, ordinance committee and what they worked on for that year. It's in the annual report.
think we discussed the plan was to work it out, that we're gonna go through and we're gonna discuss.
Hopefully, when we have the workshop on the first, we can work through a lot of things.
Will that include part of the ordinance committee, or
Yeah, it's a
just
workshop.
a you folks?
Absolutely.
No, it's a workshop.
Open to the public.
Open to public, open to the committee. Yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
if you're gonna add structure to this committee, is there structure or whatever for other committees?
Well, I think that's gonna be taken up in the workshop, to
Okay.
how far we wanna go with structure.
Well, I think the topic was the ordinance review committee on the sides for
The
this.
boards have bylaws.
Let's start somewhere.
Richard?
The ZBA and the planning board both have statutory structure.
Correct.
It's only
Correct.
reasonable that any committee would have structure, you start here, you go here, this is the chain of command.
Absolutely right.
I mean, that's why, that's.
Well, I think, you know, not to go back to that whole discussion, but Phil made the point that when that committee was formed, the select board at that time should have given the ordinance review committee structure. And they failed to do that. And then we failed for 2.5 years to add to it between now and then. So this is going down that exact avenue.
They call it ad hoc committee.
Basically.
Was there anybody with anything else? Bob?
Just a couple of quick things, actually. I do want to thank the ordinance committee for all their efforts. They have certainly worked very hard. It has been very helpful, by the way, having 7 members rather than less, because we have tons of homework to do on the ordinance committee. That's how we get our work done. We do have a plan for this year that we put together already for the coming year in terms of generating what ideas around what ordinances we want to work on. And of course, there are a zillion ordinances we have already. It's gonna take some time to work on those. And we're involving all the boards, we're involving the planning board, we're involving all the committees, we're gonna be involving the residents as well through some surveying. We're also just gonna take notes as we have planning board meetings around what ordinances need updates. Which we see quite a few there, and many of the ones we're working on now come directly from that meeting. So that's the kind of stuff we're doing. So I will say again, having multiple members is helpful, and it has been very helpful having a good number of planning board members on that committee.
Thank you,
Near
Bob.
and dear to their hearts.
Did this lady, you brought a plot plan, did you have something you wanted to add to it?
No, I'm
Okay,
good.
good.
Thank you.
Any other comments from public tonight?
I got one.
Yes, sir.
I'm just concerned about the 2-week notice from the public hearing for the planning board. It's been a standard procedure for this town forever.
We addressed that.
I am just saying that I'm allowed to speak my piece on it, Phil.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Made me lose my train of thought, thank you. So 2 weeks notice, I honestly don't believe they voted on it in their meeting to even have a meeting. Because I would have brought it up about 2 weeks notice at that meeting. So that's worth a look in the minutes. or the
Yeah,
video.
I'll look at that. I was told that today, because we had a little confusion with some dates that were set up, and I was told today that Garrett looked back and that it was in the minutes, and tomorrow give me a call and I'll let you know if it's there or not. It either is or it isn't in there.
I asked 2 planning board members and neither of them could remember if they'd done it.
It's on tape in the minutes.
All right, thank
I'm
you.
not saying it is on tape. I will look on it.
Appreciate that.
All right, we had scheduled a executive session following this meeting for legal matters. The town manager's advised me he'd like to postpone that till April 1st. So that being said, could I have a motion for adjournment, please?
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you all.
Tell me a story. How do they advertise for the planning board? I mean, yes, the planning board and the ZBA. There's openings. Isn't that, huh?
Hey, anybody would like to
Come into the application.
You can make it on Facebook or
Is the planning board open? I mean, there is a planning board. There's a planning board that's advertised.
Right.
Like the average shopper's guide or.
it's in the Bridgeton News, I don't know if it,
Well, I'm just following
Yeah,
up because
yeah.
every time I listen to people talk about the openings, there's never any mention
there,
of.
it should have been in the Shoppers Guide.
Okay.
But I'm not 100%, I can't vouch to tell you if it has been, I will look.
Yeah, so there's a ZBA opening and a planning board that's expiring, which I wanna keep the same person on the planning board, but I just think it needs to be advertised and I don't want him to be penalized that it wasn't, right?
You got it.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
I know, it's funny, because
If enough people
one
know
of the
that.
guys
Yeah, no, I don't.
I was talking to about bringing this to the meeting, has been on the emergency team, you probably don't. Kenny, Steve and Kenny, they've been forever involved.
No, they're not.
They actually pick up the recycling cans, take them to the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts every week. Right here, it's a big house, but they live in Baldwin, they have to take their trash all the way to Triton. And I said, but you're right there at the dump, he says, yep, but I'm on the other end. No, that's the whole one. It's just supposed to be on the other. No, they're taking it, and they're giving it to the house. I said, well, why don't you get a permit?